You're the top-ranked realtor in the Greenwood area. So how's the real estate market?
Well, I tell you, despite all the doom and gloom that you're hearing every day, the real estate market is still unbelievably strong. First of all, our hearts go out to all the people that are sick and affected by the virus, and the healthcare workers braving the front lines, and all the unemployed people. We're praying for them and wishing the best for them. But despite all that, the real estate market is still fantastic.
Yeah, well, it really doesn't change some people's lives. I mean, if you want to sell your house, you're going to move. Maybe you're leaving town or something. You got to sell your house.
Yeah.
You can't say, "Gee, I'm going to wait until this is gone and then I'll sell my house." And it's good. I know the real estate market for you has been really good.
Mm-hmm.
You average what, 250? That was last year. 250 families you sold.
Yeah.
There aren't a whole lot of houses available, are there?
No, the supply is still really low, and the demand is still very high.
You've got like
I've got some notes here.
Yeah, well, fill me in.
Yeah, so the supply is very low, the demand's very high because interest rates are at record
they're
all-time lows right now.
Yeah.
And I just pulled some stats up last night from our MLS system. In the last 7 days, there were 26 homes that went under contract in Greenwood.
In 7 days.
In 7 days.
Which is amazing for a market this size.
Absolutely. And like, for instance, we had a couple open houses, not this weekend, but the weekend before. There were like 25 people in each house. There were multiple offers. Mm-hmm. We sold both houses for over asking price. Last night, one of my agents was in a multiple offer situation. We ended up winning it, of course, but people are still out there looking at houses. Sellers are still wanting to sell their houses. So it's things are still rocking along.
Yeah, it's and the interesting thing is there's a lot of new construction going on in the area too. A lot of new construction.
Yeah, and I wish there was more too, because there is a there's a big demand.
Well, maybe
for that.
Maybe you get in the construction business too. I don't think you want to do that.
No.
But the great thing about working, like I worked with Bessie, and she's phenomenal. The woman's got a huge amount of energy, and she helps sell houses because she stages them for people.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We offer that for sure. Some things we're doing differently now. Let's say some sellers are have concerns that they don't want tons of people coming through their house, and there are some sellers like that. One things we're doing differently in that regard. We have a full-time photographer on staff, and they can come in and do virtual tours on the house, so people aren't jumping in and out of their house.
We've been talking about the virus and that kind of thing, and that concerns people.
Yeah,
I have 2 dogs, so if somebody needs to show my house, I have to leave the house and take both dogs with me.
Yeah,
and I don't know how long I'm going to be away because, people take their time.
Yeah.
That virtual tour gives you a really great look at the house and sets up people so that if they're super interested, then you're going to get them in the house and show them around.
Absolutely.
It's a great thing, and, we're filming this now, so it's really not that hard to film and get a really good video of your home.
Yeah, I know. And, so we have virtual tours, virtual brochures. If sellers wish, we can, have one-day showings where we bring all the buyers in one day and then get them out, and then so it's not every day somebody showing the house. Strangers in just they can leave for a few hours one day. All the buyers come in one day, so we're kind of changing gears for those sellers that want to do that.
It makes it easier for the sellers, too, because you don't get a call and say, "Gee, I'm going to bring somebody over in about 4 hours," and you look around the house and go, "Well, I got to clean this place." So it's great that you can do that.
Yeah, and let's say there's buyers out there, and we're talking to them every day that are concerned that they don't want to go in houses, and maybe a virtual tour isn't good enough. So we can arrange to walk through the house, with FaceTime or whatever, and do live tours for interested buyers.
It's great for people that are, and a lot of people are moving to Greenwood. It's interesting, but there are a lot of folks that have. A few years ago, I talked to a woman who moved here because her husband had figured out the best climate on the East Coast, and it was Greenwood, South Carolina.
Yeah.
Had the best climate on the East Coast, so they came here, and she loves it.
Yeah.
Her husband passed. She loves it.
Yeah.
And there are lots of folks coming here. We have major industries coming into town, so more and more growth going on, which is great for sellers, but it's tough for buyers who are moving in if they're not have houses.
Yeah,
right?
that's right. Yeah, 2 hours from the mountains, 3 hours from the beach. That's why I never left here.
Yeah, I know. And the great thing about it is like a buddy of mine who grew up here said, yeah, and we never get, if the bad weather comes, it goes to Greenville or south of us, but it never hits us right square in the face.
Right.
So it's a great place to live, and you have lots of houses listed, don't you?
Well, I wish we had more. We're in desperate need for some listings for sure.
Okay, so how do I list my house?
Let's say give us a call and we can definitely come out to your house. But there are some sellers that we've been talking to lately. Hey, I do want to list my house, but I'm not comfortable with having you or anybody else come through the house right now, but I'm going to start the process. So what we're telling them is go through, take some pictures, send us some videos. We can use that and work up a free current market evaluation to determine what buyers are willing to pay for your house in today's market. We can give you some tips on what to do or what not to do to sell it for the most amount of money, and we'll go over all the costs you'll incur so you know exactly what you have left in your pocket after everything. That's certainly free, doesn't obligate you to anything. And
one of the things I like about you, too, is that if for some reason I just say, no, I don't want to list this anymore, you're okay with that?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. We got a cancellation guarantee that says you can just cancel at any time.
Not everybody has that cancellation guarantee.
Or if you're not satisfied with what's going on, cancel anytime you want. So.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else you want to throw at me today?
Well, so in regards to some, let's say a buyer wants to start the process.
Okay.
And
I always forget about them.
Yeah. It doesn't want to actually get out of the house, come to the office, meet somewhere, have us come over. We can meet with them, by a virtual meeting, Zoom, GoToMeeting, or whatever is convenient for them.
Right.
We can take down what they're looking for, what they're not looking for, get them set up where they start getting daily updates of all the hot new listings that come on the market.
Right, which is huge.
Yeah, that match exactly what they're looking for, including, by the way, those that are not on the internet, like foreclosures, company-owned properties, coming soon homes, pocket listings, those that haven't gone to the internet yet. Okay. So you're getting, priority access to those.
Yeah, those foreclosure ones are always interesting when you're on Zillow or something like that. And you go, there's no pictures of this house.
Yeah, a lot of that stuff on Zillow, you don't know if it's actually for sale or not.
So if I tell you what I'm looking for, you can put together a nice little package for me and send it to me virtually, and I can look through every house and say, I like this one, I like this one, I don't like that one.
Absolutely.
And then we'll figure out when we can get together to see the house and start talking about buying.
Or if you don't want to see them, we'll go out and shoot them for you, and FaceTime with you and stuff.
How long have you been doing this?
30 years, right here in Greenwood.
So you were like 10 years old when you started.
Yes, exactly.
That's very good. And last year, 250 families you helped?
Yes.
Yeah. And on top of that, donate money from every sale to Greenwood Area Habitat for Humanity.
Yes, absolutely.
And they're building more and more houses all the time, so you got to sell more so you can get more money.
That I would love nothing more to be able to give them more money. So every time somebody buys or sells a house through us, we take a portion of that sale and we give it to Habitat, and they build houses for those in need. And it is a wonderful, inspiring organization that Stephen Baggett is doing an amazing job over there.
And you have a great staff and get back to people real quick.
Absolutely.
I know that.
Yeah.
So how do I get in touch with Kellar Lawrence of Kellar Lawrence Real Estate?
So you can call me 864-766-SOLD, 864-766-SOLD, or you can email me at Kellar at kellarlawrence.com. Kellar with an AR, by the way.
Mm-hmm. And you can also go to kellarhasthebuyers.com.
kellarhasthebuyers.com.
I know that one really well.
Yeah.
We'll talk again. Thank you for coming in. And everybody, if you're concerned about this virus, you're worried that you don't want to go in a house, you don't want any of that close contact.
Yep.
You don't have to have it in the world today. You can actually have contact with people from miles away, thousands of miles
Absolutely.
away.
All documentation can be handled by DocuSign, so we can send all listing documents, offers, all digitally. Just sign everything digitally. So, and our lender partners and our attorney partners, they're all facilitating that and changing on the fly here too to accommodate this, and so it's really business as usual, and so no need to fear. Mm-hmm. Everything is rocking along just fine, and this too will pass.
It will pass. Thank you so much. Good to see you. You're welcome anytime.
Thanks, Dave. Appreciate it, man.